So, let me start off by saying this. Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol are two of the greatest light heavyweights of all time, but most importantly, they're two of the classiest men you will ever see. It is impossible to root against either of both men. But we gotta be honest here, we gotta be completely transparent. First of all, let's talk about the first fight. The first fight was unbelievable. I thought Artur Beterbiev unquestionably won. But the commentators in the first fight were extremely biased. And in this fight, the commentary team were just disgraceful, to be honest. Dmitry Bivol is a matchroom fighter. Artur Beterbiev is a top-ranked fighter. And the commentary team work for who? Matchroom boxing. Now, let's talk about the fight. It was even better than the first one. But look at both men's reactions. The second the fight ended, Artur Beterbiev was way happier with himself in the second fight than the first fight. In the first fight, when the first fight finished, Artur Beterbiev just gave Dmitry Bivol fist bump and walked away with no smile. The moment this fight ended, Artur Beterbiev was smiling from ear to ear, hugging Dmitry Bivol, knowing that he won the fight. And Dmitry Bivol in the first fight, he started celebrating the moment the bell rang. But in this fight, he had no confidence. He didn't celebrate after the final bell. His team didn't celebrate like they did the first time. In my opinion, if you're gonna ever make a case for Dmitry Bivol to win against Artur Beterbiev, it was gonna be in the first fight. In this fight, I couldn't give Dmitry Bivol more than 4 to 5 rounds max. In my opinion, Dmitry Bivol won 2 of the first 3 rounds and he won 2 of the last 3 rounds. Now, while I was watching the fight, I was watching the fight on mute in the airport. The second the final bell rang, I didn't have a question in my mind that Artur Beterbiev won the fight. But when the decision got announced, I was baffled. And then I just rewatched the fight with the commentary on, and it was absolutely disgraceful. They didn't give Artur Beterbiev credit for, they gave him actually credit for what he was doing in the first fight more than this fight. In this fight, Dmitry Bivol, all respect to Dmitry Bivol. If you actually look, a couple of years ago, I said that Dmitry Bivol is the man to beat Canelo Alvarez. Because before Canelo fought Dmitry Bivol, he had, I believe, 3 options. He had the Charlo fight, and he had another fight, and he had the Dmitry Bivol fight. And he went with the Bivol one. And I said that was his toughest fight. Dmitry Bivol will prove later, eventually, that he is one of the best fighters of this era. That was before he fought Canelo. Now, you gotta give, like I said, respect to both men. Exceptional fighters, but most importantly, exceptional human beings. But I'm sorry. I am sorry. There is absolutely no way that you can give Dmitry Bivol more than 5 rounds. And here's why you can call this fight a robbery. It's not like all judges gave Dmitry Bivol 7 rounds. One judge actually gave him 8 rounds. So you're telling me that Artur Beterbiev didn't win more than 4 rounds in the rematch? But this is what I believe is the truth. The truth is, they won that trilogy. They won that historic, all-time great, modern-day trilogy. And that is why they gave the decision to Dmitry Bivol. Now, yes, it was a competitive fight. It was a close fight. Artur Beterbiev, the only reason why Artur Beterbiev knocked out everyone except Dmitry Bivol is because nobody moved. Out of all the Beterbiev opponents, nobody moved more than Dmitry Bivol. And that is why it was extremely hard to catch him. But look at Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn love Eddie Hearn, the greatest promoter of all time. No question. Eddie Hearn, if you look at the behind the scenes in Matchroom Boxing from the fight night, he said out of his own mouth, he told the guy next to him, he said, Artur Beterbiev won 5 rounds in a row. That was, I believe, after the 8th or 9th round. So even Eddie Hearn, before the championship rounds, He gave Artur Beterbiev at least 5 rounds, and Artur Beterbiev won the 12th round also. So it is virtually impossible. Yes, if they would have made the fight a draw, I wouldn't have been mad. But if the fight would have been a draw, they wouldn't have made the trilogy, because Artur Beterbiev would have still been the undisputed champion. Like I said, I love Dmitry Bivol, but I have to call a spade a spade. And I don't want to say that the judges are corrupt, because Turki Alalshikh unquestionably saved boxing. No one has done for boxing more than Turki Alalshikh in the past decade, and probably ever. When have we ever seen the sport at an all-time high like now? Just because of one single man. It is Turki Alalshikh. All respect. You gotta give His Excellency all the respect in the world. He gave us the best fights of this era within a couple of months. So I don't believe Turki Alalshikh had anything to do with the outcome of the fight. But these judges, the 3 judges, they're just like you and me. They have social media, they have YouTube, they can go into interviews, they can see what Turki Alalshikh is saying. Turki Alalshikh kept saying that he would love for both men to have a trilogy. So it is impossible for them not to be biased to give the decision this time to Bivol in order for them to have a trilogy. But most importantly, they're going to do it for the 3rd time. And in all honesty, both men are so evenly matched that I don't believe one will ever just completely run through the other guy. They're always going to be competitive. They're always going to be neck for neck when it comes to skills, when it comes to speed. But when it comes to power though, that is the biggest difference. Artur Beterbiev, it felt like he was hitting Dmitry Bivol with bare knuckles. And it felt like Dmitry Bivol was hitting Artur Beterbiev with 20-ounce gloves. He couldn't do anything to Artur Beterbiev. The only time where I saw Beterbiev slightly get affected was in the 11th round, and he wasn't even hurt. He wasn't even shaken up. But what can you say? 2 unbelievable men, 2 unbelievable fighters, fighting for their dreams, and you gotta give them all the respect in the world. But in my opinion, Artur Beterbiev won the 1st and the 2nd fight. And who knows how the 3rd fight is gonna go, but one thing is for sure, you and I will be watching.